Om Shri Sai Ram. My name is Kirti Karod.
And I'm Sri Ram Shankar, and both very honored to be a part of this tribute to our dear Professor Anil Kumar, and we will be your virtual MCs for this evening.
How do you describe someone who embodied the strength, love, humor, and depth that we all strive for across lifetimes? Someone that so many of us around the world all felt was family to us. When talking about the professor, remembering him is as complex and as simple as he was. No words are enough, yet using all the words are also not enough. Many of us were blessed to see Swami's physical form and to interact with him and his energies. Professor Anil Kumar took those intense energies from Swami himself and made them into something that we felt personally, and we continue to learn from and enjoy. The best way for us to follow this journey to remember Uncle is the way he would have done it, with joy, with sincerity, and as thoroughly as possible. We know him as Swami's translator, the voice of Swami to those of us who do not understand Telugu, but wouldn't it be fun to trace his journey all the way back to his roots?
Isn't it amazing to see the kind of lineage that Professor Anil Kumar belonged to? and how they instilled in him a deep yearning to search for the truth, Sathya, which he found and clasped dearly onto for the rest of his life. In our effort to present the rest of this tribute, the team turned internally to Swami for guidance, and he answered the call in the form of this beautiful next segment. Swami once stated 5 aspects that will clearly help us understand who a person is and their state of being. These 5 are: 1. Ahara, food or what we take in. 2. Vihara or recreation. 3. Achara, which is habits and practices. 4. Vichara, which is thoughts and the way one thinks. And 5. Uchara, what they talk about or speak about. So we intend to bring out fun and insightful aspects on all these fronts as we traverse the next few segments. And we encourage you to take note on all these aspects as it unfolds through the course of this entire tribute, helping us relive and enjoy Uncle's life to its fullest extent while drawing upon invaluable life lessons. Let's continue diving into this engrossing story of the Sai phenomenon and the many treasures it beholds.
Tata, you are passionately, intensely, unapologetically you, in the only way you can be. You are a magnanimous force, a surge of ever youthful and rebellious spirit, ultimately to uplift and help others to find their own spark of divinity. You are tireless in your devotion, both publicly and privately, a pastor to many and an inspiring icon of faith. You are also a most devoted husband, father, brother, grandfather, and of course to your beloved Guru and God. You are a philosopher and poet, but behind the words that seem to flow down from Mount Olympus itself, you're a modest man who melts away seriousness with laughter, always talks with, never talks down, and understands that there is no better remedy to our shared struggles and hardships than simply being a friend. Behind all the charisma and all the public platforms and spotlights is a relentless, humble truth seeker, guided by altruistic and noble principles and love for humanity and creation. You are a teacher in the truest sense. From your example, you taught how to more graciously accept the multitudes that live in each of us, from saint to sinner, and the whole spectrum in between. That though the walk to peace can be anything but peaceful, it is no less worthy of our highest pursuit. That spirituality isn't something paraded on our lips, but roars from the deepest chambers of ourselves. That above all else, to believe in oneself and trust one's own voice, heart, and intuition.
Anil Kumar Uncle is a multifaceted personality, an educator, prolific writer, erudite scholar, orator, entertainer, most well-known translator of Swami's words, and so on. These personality traits are like the precious gems in a ring. The base on which they are all mounted is nothing but pure gold. The unconditional love for everyone that he met. That is why he is Swami's own Bangaru.
A loving uncle, a father figure for our whole Sai Center, full of love, always a simple message for all the children at every level. He'll be really missed.
Many, many loving Sairams to our dear Professor Anil Kumar Garu, who has left us a great legacy of his humble love and devoted dedication, always alive in our hearts. Uncle Anil Kumar and Vijaya Auntie made us all feel like part of the family. We were very fortunate to have had lovely satsangs with them in Dallas. His speeches were always infused with the 3 E's: energy, enthusiasm, and eloquence, which would keep the whole audience engaged in divine bliss. Sometimes he would be like Lord Hanumanji, singing divine glories of Sri Rama, and other times a mischievous childhood friend Gopa, narrating Sai Krishna's humorous stories with smiling, sparkling eyes. At the conclusion of each satsang, we would all be in seventh heaven, drenched with Prashanti and Baba's divine bliss in our hearts. Dear Uncle Anil Kumar Garu, you will always be with us, with all these wonderful memories you have gifted us. We are ever grateful to Swami for that.
When he came to Dallas, we heard every one of his speeches. And he was magnificent. He was full of love, he was full of service, he was full of kindness, he was full of empathy, he was full of goodwill. He was literally Swami in action.
When we think of Uncle, we get reminded of
unconditional love,
no castor oil face,
humor,
and being practical all the time.
Anil Kumar uncle was a man of the highest order. He dedicated his life to our beloved Bhagawan, Sathya Sai Baba. When Swami says, "Your life is my message," we can see that being practiced in action in Anil Kumar uncle.
I would like just to add a few things. How Uncle was an example of showing universal love to, be it kids or even to adults. My own kids, my son and my daughter, would look forward for Uncle's visit to Dallas, and they would not miss even a single satsang, be it at the Sai Center or be it at a private satsang. And we always as a family still remember Uncle in our own home, sitting at a dining table and asking for rasam and pickles. These are the two things I always will remember of Uncle.
I was very much devastated and crestfallen like anyone else. I was in Puttaparthi on the 11th day of Mahasamadhi, but still very sad. I never met Sri Anil Kumar Garu before, but I went to his house. He spoke to me for more than 45 minutes, giving me a lot of strength, even though he himself was in deep sorrow because of his very, very long divine association with Bhagawan.
For me, Uncle was a beacon of light and love, walking beacon of light and love, and who encompassed everybody, who covered all age groups. Everybody loved to be near him because of that light and love. I just feel that is the greatest lesson for me, how to be wherever we are, and I hope I can be that.
I told Uncle we have a satsang in the center. It happened to be a weekday. They were coming on a Tuesday and going back to Dallas on a Wednesday. So I asked them, to speak in the center for about an hour or two, and after that to come back to our place, whether he can continue his talk with his experiences. And he told me, "Doctor, if I can speak all night, if you all are ready." And in fact, he spoke in the center for about an hour and a half. He sang a bhajan too, and we came home, both uncle and auntie, and he spoke for another 2 hours in our place from almost 10 p.m. to till midnight.
Professor Anil Kumar is a household name in the world Sai family. He's known as a scholar, a teacher of excellence. He was particularly known for his superb translation of Sai's Telugu speeches in English. He was known for his jovial and joyful nature, yet he was a serious spiritual seeker. He enjoyed unparalleled nearness and dearness to Sai. He exhibited immense love for Sai, and Sai abundantly reciprocated the same. Ultimately, he merged into Sai. We are left with the fragrance of his memories that are ever fresh and enchanting us forever.
Professor Anil Kumar is nothing short of a tribute to Swami himself. He was not only a master communicator and a clear reflection of Swami's teachings, but he also embodied the very essence of what Swami taught us to be.
When Uncle visited the Unity Church in Austin, we requested a sound technician named Brian to set up his microphone for him Professor Anil Kumar uncle struck up a conversation with Brian, immediately expressing his admiration for the technician's devotion and discipline to the duty, etc., etc. Although their interaction was brief, just maybe for 2 minutes or so, it left such a lasting impression on Brian that even after 6 months, when we went to reserve the church for Swami's birthday program, he asked, "Is your professor also coming for the event?" If uncle made such a impression on Brian with just 2 minutes of interaction, you can imagine how much impression all the devotees he would have made while he shared so many experiences of Swami.
I would speak to Swami in my heart. But when I saw Anil Kumar Garu also, I felt I could speak with him. And if I spoke with him, it goes straight to Sathya Sai Baba as well. So he was like an extended version of Swami to me.
I wanted to share a few thoughts on behalf of the Karod family, especially my parents, Dr. Upendra and Mrs. Prakashini Karod. Professor Anil Kumar's friendship was very dear to them, and they wanted to share a few words in tribute and love. My parents and family have asked that I share these thoughts on their behalf. Kindly accept our condolences at this time of sadness. We are at a loss of appropriate words to express our sorrow at the news about our dear friend and spiritual mentors going into a very long sleep. We addressed him as Professor and experienced through him our dear Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Professor Anil Kumar was loved by our whole family as a loving friend who, despite his high stature, let us all come close. We met him almost 32 years ago. We were all swept off our feet by his unique charm, genuine love, and wisdom. We are very aware of how big a loss his family must be feeling, and all we would say is that we share the sadness and grief. But our solace is that we are so fortunate to have had so many memories of his abundant love. I pray to Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba to continue to hold all of us in his loving hands. Sairam. One of Uncle's most remarkable traits that touched my family, and that of so many others, is how he was able to make each person feel like they matter, that they're the only person in the room. He made each person feel seen. Children, young adults, women, men, students, educators, officers, volunteers, literally everyone who interacted with him felt like they had a connection, and Uncle managed to remember names and details from everyone's lives and personalities. He had a habit of calling my siblings and other young people movie stars. He himself was so charismatic, and he would say things to us like, "Oh, I'm surrounded by movie stars." And I realized that he treated everyone around him like someone special, like a celebrity. Not in a superficial way, but he really made every person feel seen, which is impressive and incredibly mindful. He remembered names, what you studied, and that time you sang a certain bhajan or when he visited a certain city. It was so sincere and touching, and it made me realize that this is a true gift that we can give each other, to make the effort to see each other as we are, to make each other feel seen, and to actually connect.
Really, my friends, I'm telling you openly, Swami knows, I never wrote any letter to Swami. No complaint letters anytime. No personal problems anytime. Why, you may ask? Because Swami, 100 people bring to your notice 100 problems. Let me not be 101. Problems are of my own making, karma phala. They will vanish, that's all. But let me entertain you. Let me make you laugh. That's my job. That's what I have been doing all along, throughout my period of stay in Prashantalayam and also in Bangalore.
This was back in December of 2012 when my parents and I were in Puttaparthi, and Sister Sarojini had requested us to join a community worship that her parents were organizing. She gave me and my mother saris to wear, and we wore it and showed up for the event, and there were so many other ladies wearing the same saris, and it really brought us all a sense of unity. And Auntie, that's Sister Sarojini's mother, she led us upstairs in the building, and we all sat in our spots where there was, it was all very neatly organized. There was Swami's picture, there was Achade, which is also turmeric rice, and all the other puja items. Once we got seated, Professor Anil Kumar, in his usual style, gets up and welcomes all of us very, very warmly. And after the puja was over, so as I was collecting my thoughts to go and speak, I saw all the ladies that were seated looking at me very, very eagerly, and I certainly did not want to disappoint them. I was wondering if they would even understand if I spoke in English. As I was wondering this, and as I was about to start speaking, I looked at Brother Shyam, and I was motioning him and gesturing him to see if he could translate. So anyway, I went and got up to speak, and I spoke my first sentence, and without missing a beat, there was translation in Telugu, and lo and behold, it was none other than Professor Anil Kumar. He saw my quandary and immediately jumped into action. Such was Professor Anil Kumar's presence of mind.
The spontaneousness and spontaneous love and affection. He remembers each and everybody's name, even with the last name also.
Anil Kumar uncle was a Nada Priya Nada Yogi. Every time he would come to Dallas, he would come to our house, and he would ask Chinmayi, Vijayashri and myself to sing, and Ishwar would play the mridangam. We would sing. He would specifically ask to sing Entro Mahanubhavudu, Aprama Bhakti, and Swami shared very intimately some of the deep meaning of these kritis. Especially in Aprama Bhakti, he would say, without devotion to Rama, which is the best, Hanuman wouldn't have been possible to cross the ocean, or he wouldn't have allowed him to tie himself when Mother Yashoda tied him.
Shankar se Shankar Shekhar Har Bam 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 Bolo Hari. Hey, Har Shiva Shankar se Shankar Shekhar Har Bam 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 Bolo Hari. O Bhava Bhayankar Girja Shankar Dhimi 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 Jagannathana Gelo Hari.
But when he was in Dallas once, I think during one of his talks, Professor Anil Kumar, he would sometimes in the middle of his talks, he would break out into a bhajan. He's a good singer. And I think on this particular occasion, he was singing a Vittala bhajan. And I think he couldn't contain himself. He was so much into it. He started, getting into the mood of the bhajan, and he started, almost dancing. And that absolutely, struck a chord with me, because there have been many, many times when I hear a Vittala bhajan, Vittala, 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 Jai, and you want to get up and you want to jump and sing that and dance. But of course, in a Sai Center, you don't do that. But it was so nice to see, the exuberance of Professor Anil Kumar when he was singing that. I don't know. I think Professor Anil Kumar made spirituality lots of fun. I don't think he liked long faces anywhere near him. And of course, Swami also didn't. But I really miss Professor Anil Kumar. Jai Sai Ram.
It seems like only yesterday when he was interacting with each and every one of us here in Texas and wherever he went, sharing beautiful stories about the saga of the Sai Avatar and sowing spiritual upliftment all around. Professor Anil Kumar will certainly be remembered as one of the highest inspirations of devotion to Sai, not only for all of us today, but for generations to come. On the one hand, his able and distinct translations of countless discourses, the myriad of precious divine insights shared through various devotee interactions, interviews, and books, and his ever-flowing wisdom most definitely brought us to a much closer understanding of Swami's ways and divine message, and also helped us experience the sweet taste of his endless love. Indeed, Professor Anil Kumar was himself one of the most transcendental characters in this very Satyopanishad, and a unique and most memorable expression of Sai wisdom. As one of Swami's most recognizable and loved ambassadors for the whole international Sai family, he always brought happiness, solace, love, and, one could even say, the very presence of Swami wherever he went.
In Kodaikanal, he started introducing Swami. Anil Kumar, that man gave 100 crores for the hospital. This man gave 50 crores to the hospital. This man 100 crores. I got only coats, not crores. Coats to wear. Then Swami was introducing 20 crores, 30 crores, 100 crores. Swami, why is that, Swami? I feel so bad. I have not given you anything, Swami. I cannot give you any, Swami. Why do you say that? I feel so bad when you say that they have given so much. I could not give you anything, Swami. You know what Baba said? Do you think Swami cares for money? Where are these people staying? You know that? They are staying there in Carlton Hotel. Where are you staying? You are staying with me in my room. They have given the money what they have. Extra money. You have given your life to me. Therefore you are with me. That's what Baba said.
As Hanuman ji is to Sri Ram, so is Sri Anil Kumar Garu to Bhagawan.
Swami said, get up. Come and translate. What did he say? Ramayana Kalamunandu, Ramaravana Yudha Samayamunandu, Sitaanvesha Nimitamai, అనేక మందిని ప్రశ్నించినాడు శ్రీరామచంద్రుడు. సీతా సాధ్విని సాధించే నిమిత్తమై ఎవరు సిద్ధమైనారు అని ప్రశ్నించినాడు. ఎవరు కూడా చేతకాదని చెప్పగా ఆంజనేయ స్వామి సిద్ధము అని చెప్పినాడు. ఇట్ వాజ్ రామ హూ ఆస్క్డ్ ఎనీబడి హూ విల్ గో ఇన్ సర్చ్ ఆఫ్ మదర్ సీత. ఎవ్రీబడి సెడ్ ఇంపాసిబుల్, వీ కాంట్ డూ దట్. వీ కాంట్ డూ దట్, స్వామి. దెన్ స్వామి లుక్డ్ ఎట్ ఆంజనేయ and Anjaneya Swami said, I am ready, before everybody. And then Swami says these words, Anjaneya, నీవు లంకకి ఎప్పుడైనా వెళ్ళినావా? Did you visit Lanka before? No, Swami. Oh, very good. You are going to the place that where you had never been. Sitanu చూచినావా? Have you seen Sita any time? No, Swami. Oh, you are going to identify a person whom you never saw. Very good. Do you know the difficulty in crossing the ocean? Any problem? No, Swami, I had no previous experience. Without experience, to an unknown place, to recognize an unknown person, you are going, what a fool you are, what a fool you are. And then Anjaneya said, Swami, why do you put me in fix like that? When once you say, go and do it, you will give me the needed strength, the capacity and the skill, intelligence to recognize Mother Sita, and the courage to go all the distance. Your command is enough. He turned at me like that. It meant me, I know that.
He was like Hanuman, ever ready to be in the service of our beloved Sai Rama, spreading his message of love and peace.
Uncle was like Baba's Hanuman. He's tireless, humble, and joyful sevak. Hanuman gave life to the rocks when he wrote Lord Rama's name on them. Uncle helped thousands of people make changes in their lives that brought them closer to their own divinity and joy.
And in April, when my beloved father merged in Bhagawan, we all went through unfathomable pain and sorrow. And many devotees have come to have the last darshan of our father, and they were inconsolable. And they all praised my father's love and devotion, and they compared his devotion to Lord Hanuman's devotion. So when I reflected on it, I too could see some of the similarities that these two noble devotees have expressed towards their master. And I immediately remembered an incident where Bhagawan shared from Ramayana, where a dialogue took place between Lord Rama and Hanuman. And Rama asked Hanuman who he was. And Hanumanji replied in 3 sentences. And first he said, Dehatma bhavaya dasoham tava. O Lord, when I'm operating from my body consciousness, I am your servant. And my father, when he had first come to Sathya Sai path 52 years ago, he was a simple seeker. And he was a sevak, or a volunteer, who took part in service activities and medical camps, sadhana camps, and so on. From there his journey started, and finally he was chosen as the state president of Sri Sathya Sai Seva organizations by beloved Swami. And Swami laid his hands on his head and he blessed him and said, Bangaru, go to every town and village in Andhra Pradesh and spread the message of Swami. And after that, my father was unstoppable, and he went on touring around all the cities, states in India, and he traveled worldwide. And the second sentence Lord Hanuman shared with Lord Rama is Jivatma bhavayat sakhatava. O Lord, when I am operating from my mind, I am your friend. We have seen the close, near and dear relationship my father had with beloved Swami. There were many devotees that were like that, but my father was privileged to ask several questions, profound questions related to daily life, spirituality, Advaita, and so on. And wherever he was, he spread joy. And despite his life's ups and downs, there was never a downcast look on his face. He would joke, he would be humorous with Swami, and Swami loved being around him. And Swami answered all of his questions. And so my father collected all these pearls of wisdom that was imparted on him through Swami and shared it unconditionally, lovingly with all the devotees. And finally, Hanuman says to Rama, Nijatma bhavayat tvameva ham na samshaya. O Lord, when I'm operating from my soul or Atma, I realize that you and I are one. I realize that you and I are one. So when we were young children, we would do bhajans every day, and we would observe our father going into it's kind of like blissful state or trance, or he'll lose track of time and he's in raptures, and he experiences that union with Bhagawan while performing the daily duties. He was always in sync with Swami.
Had a perfect understanding of that message. He had clarity. Like what many told me and what I myself observed was that the clarity of his understanding of Swami's message, that was so beautiful. His conviction of the path shown by Swami was again so beautiful. And then his commitment to the mission that Swami stood for and that he wanted for this world was fantastic. So he had both all the three, the clarity, the conviction, and the commitment.
Wow, wasn't that an amazing segment? And we can all agree that Professor Anil Kumar indeed lived up to his name quite literally. You may wonder how. As some of you may be aware, Anil in Sanskrit refers to another name for Vayu, the Hindu god of wind, and Kumar refers to son or son of. In short, he was christened as the son of the wind god, just like Hanuman was. And as prophetically shared by some of you, he indeed was to Sai Rama in the present age what Hanuman was to Rama in the Treta Yuga some 20,000 years ago. He continues to help us understand the message of Swami, not merely by translating it verbatim during Bhagawan's discourses, but more importantly and effectively by truly embodying it and devoutly living it, just like Hanuman did. Talking about being the consummate messenger of our Sai Rama, shall we explore and reminisce the messages he conveyed and embodied while personally interacting with each of us? So let's do just that.
We often pray, Swami, let your love flow to me and through me. And Anil Kumar Mama was very much the representation of that sentiment. But in reality, that was not my relationship with him. He was always the joyful presence at our family gatherings, bringing a lot of energy and levity to the situation. And while this is a difficult video to record, I want to remember the happiness that we've shared and the importance that Anil Kumar Mama played in my being around, helping my parents find each other and also helping me find Sundar. And we will always miss, I will always miss, hearing the words, Yewe, Laitaga, Heviga, the next time we're all together.
I have to say that we are very happy that we got to spend some time with Swami and with Anil Kumar Garu on this earth during this era. How fortunate can we be?
Sai Ram, I am Anil Kumar Garu student in 1968 from AC College, Guntur. He is a very handsome, like a ripened mango with a dark curly hair.
Swami once said, as long as there is sun, Swami's name will be there. And I feel that as long as Swami's name is there, Uncle's name will be there.
He was so intimate to us, and he was always very polite in talking about Swami and his teachings. He was very passionate about Swami and his teachings, and he spread the word of Swami all over the world. Anil Kumar's presence was always enchanting and inspiring, and we cherish his talks and we miss him very much.
Back in 2013, he made a special effort to visit Mukesh in the hospital when he had his heart surgery. His respect for Mukesh was very admirable, as he always called Mukesh a silent worker who always followed Swami's teachings and his faith in our Lord.
The first time we met Uncle, Uncle asked me, where are you from? I said, Coimbatore. Showing his funny side, he said, hey, early on they used to print a lot of counterfeit money in Coimbatore. How much have you accumulated? That showed his funny side. That is how our interaction started. The last 5 to 6 years, our family has become very close to Uncle. He filled that physical void that was left when we missed Swami's physical presence. To me, he's no different than Swami. A lot of the times he used to mention to me, more so to Sarojini Garu also, Anand, you are just another son for me. That is how much he has touched our lives.
During our trip to India, my mother, sister, and I all had the privilege of meeting Professor Anil Kumar, who shared his remarkable stories and experiences with Sai Baba. Our time with him was incredibly enlightening. We didn't just hear about the events associated with Swami's miracles, we also got to delve into the topics of Professor Anil Kumar's life. With every topic we discussed, Professor Anil Kumar offered invaluable insights, each delivered with a level of articulation that I can only hope to get as I grow older and continue learning. His warm and kind nature was evident not only in the way he welcomed us with a cup of amazing chai, but also in his small and thoughtful gestures, like helping us give water to a stray dog. The lessons I've learned from him are lessons that will stay with me as I continue my own spiritual journey within the center and continue growing as a person in the real world.
Anil Kumar uncle's family and my family have known each other for more than 40 years. It is an honor and a privilege to share a few words about uncle. For Swami's 60th birthday celebrations in the Sri SSSIO Hillview Stadium on the Shanti Vedika, Swami chose Anil Kumar uncle and my father, Professor S.B. Raghunatharacharya, to be the master of ceremonies. Uncle emceeing in English and my father in Telugu. Swami had come in my father's dream a few months earlier and asked him to come to Puttaparthi by November 14th. My father was able to wrap up his work at the university, and in the last hours of November 13th evening they reached Puttaparthi. Swami spoke to him on November 14th morning and repeated the exact same words from his dream. Go and take care of the 60th birthday programs. And in between the programs, as uncle and my father were emceeing, Swami used to come and speak to them and bless them.
I would like to share an experience which Sri Anil Kumar Garu shared with me. During a visit to Delhi, Swami took Sri Anil Kumar Garu also with him. On the first day, Anil Kumar Garu didn't like the lunch because it was not spicy and used to like spicy pickles. Swami asked him how was the lunch and said, Swami, there's no spice in the food, so I could not relation. Next day, when he was again at the lunch table, he was surprised to see 3 bottles of pickles and he enjoyed his food. Swami again came and asked him, how was lunch today? He said, Swami, lunch was very good. I got my pickles. Then Swami told him, hey Anil Kumar, you know how you got these pickles? I got for you by a special flight from Bangalore to Delhi. And there were tears in his eyes when he was telling me his experience.
He would describe how when he was traveling with Swami, he would try to get early morning coffee. Of course, Swami knew all about it. There would always be some humorous way of Swami would rib him about his desire to have coffee. The other thing that he liked apparently was hot Guntur pickle. And Swami made sure that Professor Anil Kumar was well supplied with both coffee and hot Guntur pickles.
In those days, as our house was also the Samiti, we had the privilege to host Uncle not only for our center events but also on his tours to Telangana villages. Our family always cherishes a memory from that time. On one such tour, Uncle along with couple others were to board Godavari Express. My father escorted them to the station. As they were waiting for the train, the station master invited them to his chamber for a cup of tea. While having tea, the station master asked Uncle to give him some high-level points about his talk that day. Everyone was totally carried away in the talk and didn't realize that train has arrived. By the time they came out, it has already left the platform. Then some serious juggling happened. My father, the signaling crew, and station master were able to bring the train back to the platform for these uncles to board. When Uncle went to Parti next time, Swami said, you keep talking so much that I had to bring Godavari Express back to the platform for you. After that, Uncle used to always joke with my father, Sarmagaru, please make sure that I don't miss the train or else I will hear from Swami.
Uncle was also very playful with me and my brother's children and took a lot of time to talk to each of them individually and even took some silly selfies with my youngest daughter. He told a funny story about Swami and I wanted to share. One day, Swami was with his students and he asked a male student, how many sisters do you have? And the boy said none. And Swami corrected him and said, no, all girls are your sisters. Then he asked the boy, how many wives do you have? And the boy said in hesitation, all the girls. And Swami painfully put up his hand to scold him and said, no, you only have one wife.
Somehow he was upset with the boys. Somehow. They all sit there. And there are pillars, the cyclone hall. Boys sit there and sit towards this side, all boys. To avoid them, Swami used to go that way. To avoid them. Sometimes even touching the pillar. What to do? The boys were looking at me pitifully. I wanted to come to their rescue, come what may. Yemi samachar, what news? I said, Swami, in response to the devotion of Prahlada, Mahavishnu came out of the pillar. In response to our prayer, Mahavishnu is getting into the pillar, Swami. Into the pillar. He laughed and laughed, and then everything normal. Such a lovely thing, lovely moments I cannot forget.
I introduced my family at home, Vasudha and our daughters, Pooja and Poonam, and Vimal introduced his youngest daughter, Manisha, and suddenly Professor Anil Kumar uncle, his humor, he suddenly said, "Oh, I'm so glad to meet all the 3 Bollywood actresses, Pooja Bhatt, Poonam Dhillon and Manisha Koirala." And we were just burst into laughter.
I was attending Professor Anil Kumar's lecture in the building upstairs, the North Canteen. And after the lecture, I just wanted to go see him and give our namaskars. And then again he said, "Where is the Dr. Saab? Where is Pooja Bhatt? Where is Poonam Dhillon?" And it was amazing for him to remember all.
Spirituality and the fun. Right? He'd finish up an amazing talk at the center, come home for dinner, and then he'd be about Bollywood and call me Girish Karnad, and then say, "Hey, do you know this uncle? He's from the same country as Manisha Koirala. He knew Bollywood like no one."
I remember when I told him that I had started to teach. It was recent. It was the last time I actually sat down and had a conversation with him. And he told me about, obviously, we shared a quick bond because he's been teaching for so long. And I felt like it was just me and him talking. He looked me in the eye. He was asking me, "Do you enjoy it? Are you going to do anything? Are you going to thinking about doing a PhD? Are you thinking about teaching?" We had such an intimate conversation, and there were people around, but I felt it was just me and him talking. And that kind of attention only Swami would give.
But we loved him because of his humor. I think that's what kept him young too. I always felt like he had a good young energy.
Especially here in Region 10, we had a special connection with Uncle. In addition to being Sai family, through the gracious love of Sarojiniben, Shambhai, and families, Region 10 devotees invited ourselves to be actual family as well. No trip to Parti was complete without visiting Uncle and Auntie, and our regional trips and offerings felt even more personal. He visited so many of the cities in our region and participated in activities like the Walk for Values, public meetings, and special satsangs. He was always ready to show up and participate fully with joy. I still remember in Dallas when we did the Walk for Values, Uncle gave a welcoming speech, and then it was enthusiastically doing stretches and warm-ups with everyone else. He was not self-conscious, he was just being fully in the moment. Here's a look across his special relationship with our region.
Professor Anil Kumar would mentor and guide all of us during our pilgrimages to Parti, especially when the children enacted plays in front of Swami both in Vrindavan and Parti. Professor Anil Kumar guided Mukesh and the region during his presidency, especially when we went as a region and as a US group to follow the process and procedures in Parti.
And to be honest with you, Uncle was a mentor to me specifically, and he taught me how to speak in public. And he always said that if you cannot capture the audience in the first 3 minutes, you might as well give up because you've lost them by this time. But he mentored us all as we became center officers, and as we were planning our trips to Puttaparthi, he would navigate the whole thing with us, making sure that we understood the right protocols, the right processes, who to talk to, how to talk to those officials in India, because Swami was very strict about protocol and the processes that we had to follow. And Uncle was our guidance every time we went over there.
With pronounced lotus feet of Bhagawan, but not a picnic. There are many, many things
that we have got to prepare. There are many things that we have got to learn, because the kind of discipline, the kind of conduct, the kind of performance that we give over there will give many more chances to come to many people from this great country, America. From my side, I am prepared always to guide you, to give my own advice on the matter, but not to be quoted in front of Bhagawan, though he knows, because he knows pretty well that I am no expert. But in my own humble way, I'll have, if you give me some chance to meet the office bearers or important people, I'll let them know what is to be done over there, how best we can conduct ourselves to make Swami happy, to give number of chances. May Bhagavan bless you with many, many, many opportunities to come. May he make our dream a dream realized. Life is a dream, realize it. Texans, devotees from Texas have been dreaming to go there in a large group. Realize that dream.
Vandanam Sathya Sai Guru Vandanam Sathya Sai Guru Vandanam Sahitya Kala Shastra Nipunam Sahitya Kala Shastra Nipunam Guru Vandanam Sathya Sai Guru Vandanam Guru Vandanam.
Anytime we visited Prashanti in India, we would visit uncle at their home. They would not let us go without any food. Auntie would cook for our beloved Swami, and any prasad left over was shared with us.
We find some of the youngsters moving around, playing on instruments, Pakka professional style. I wanted to dance because the rhythm and the beat, was so marvelous. You have made me again a teenager, my boys. Those that played on instruments here, would you please get up? Those who played on instruments, come on, get up, up. Come on. Those played on, yeah, wow, what a job it is, what a job. Wow.
He truly has been an incredible mentor and guide to our entire region, hasn't he? Inspiring and enabling us to access more ways to interact with Swami and his message. So this begs the question, how can we all be such effective messengers like Professor Anil Kumar was? What makes him stand apart? And how can we emulate it in our own ways? It's here that Swami's words are as insightful as ever. Swami says there are 3 classes of messengers. The lowest are those who do not understand the orders of the master or do not care to understand and who operate to the detriment of the work assigned to them. The second are those who do only just as much as the order literally communicates. And the highest are those who grasp the purpose and significance of the orders and carry them out unflinchingly till the purpose is achieved. Hanuman belonged to this category of messenger, says Swami, and it's very clear here too that Uncle fits this category of messengers, thereby making him such a powerful instrument of Swami, absolutely worthy of emulation.
So many practical Sai teachings are rooted in education and leadership. Personally, for me, the upcoming segment is exciting as we look at Uncle's teachings and leadership examples about how to live life, how to be the best devotee, a person, parent, and friend possible, using his own unique style of teaching. Uncle was, of course, a leader, but before that, an educator, a professor in botany. Uncle gave many amazing talks and speeches all over the world, but some of his most memorable lessons come not from what he said, but from who he was. Personally, he really opened my eyes to how spirituality and joy could be combined. I had never met anyone who would make jokes and laugh and be so spiritually wise at the same time. Up until then, Dharma was heavy and serious, and things like being social or spontaneous or funny seemed almost irreverent. But the professor would sing bhajans while playing kanjira on the side of a car. He would make jokes with children but weave Swami into those conversations. Professor Anil Kumar showed us that we can be lighthearted, funny, and outgoing, and that could exist with a life of wisdom and sadhana. He was one of the most authentic people I had ever met. He was so well known in the ashram, yet he would walk around like anyone else, a bounce in his step as he sang bhajans to himself while he walked quickly from one area to another. Everyone wanted to meet him, not because he was well known, but because he had the energy and he was contagious in his enthusiasm. His actions and character spoke volumes, and somehow each of us heard exactly what we needed to hear.
Well, there's so many lessons, but due to time reasons, I'll stick to just one. So at the same conference, I was asked to introduce Uncle Anil Kumar before he took the stage, and I promptly did. But before he started his speech, he made sure to thank all the other national level office bearers in the audience before he started his speech. Now, I didn't know why Uncle was doing that. But after the speech was over, he called me aside and said, "Respect to the organization's office bearers is respect to Swami." So he said, always make sure that you acknowledge the elders of the organization that have a title specifically, because that is what Swami would want. A lesson that I've taken into my work world as well. Anytime I have executive level leadership that I'm being part of or presenting into, I make sure that I thank them for their work, but more importantly for giving me time to share my thoughts.
For me, there are several takeaways. Number one is laser beam focus. I have never seen anyone more focused about the job at hand than my father. I'll give you a small example, whether it is a SSSIO project or a work-related project or whatever it might be. Until it is done, he wouldn't even sleep. And the completion is a total completion with the finest quality. He would never compromise for its quality. Without that, he would have never been able to write more than 40 books and delivered more than 1,000 to several thousands of talks, as you all know. So for someone to succeed so much, you have to have a laser beam focus, and this is what I want to implement in my sadhana day by day.
And I remember one time I had the opportunity to ask him a question, and this question that was lingering in my head for quite some time. Because there was a discussion that came up at home with family members. They were questioning, hey, if your Swami is God, then why does he not resolve India-Pakistan issues and other wars in the world? I asked Uncle the same question. What did Swami say about these wars? Is Swami doing something to put an end to the wars? Something to that regard. And Uncle looked at me and said, take care of peace and harmony in your house, then you worry about what is going on in the world. Because that's not what I was expecting. I was expecting him to say, hey, this is what Swami said. And I had always considered Uncle as a messenger of Swami. So I knew whatever he said that day was coming from Swami. After reading so many literatures, watching so many videos and talks of Swami and a lot of devotees as well, I came to the point of understanding that without resolving what is happening, all the conflicts at home, there was no point even to look outside. He pointed me in the right direction, and I'm very grateful to Uncle because that changed my whole perception. Now, everything that I want to resolve, I first look, within myself first to see what is it that I did wrong, how is it that I could have done it differently.
I think one of my favorite lessons I've learned from Uncle is not just his energy, but his passion and his conviction. Even from the first Saidam, he says it with such conviction in that word. And that was something I've always taken away from him and I've appreciated. And not just in his speeches, but in his just one-to-one interactions with you. And that's something that I'm gonna keep with me forever.
One of the most fondest memories that I have of Uncle is whenever I was growing up and he came to Dallas for a speaker session. And during the session, he started singing a really soulful bhajan, and he was just dancing. He was having so much fun through it all. It made all of us want to dance with him. I just remember that one moment because it just showed me how carefree he was in everything that he was doing in center. He knew that Swami would always take care of him. He showed that Swami would always take care of all of us. And that's something that I embody, that carefreeness in being immersed in Swami.
Uncle stressed to me the importance of inclusivity of all as an office bearer. He shared that it is not only important to be welcoming to newcomers, but also involve them while being open to doing things differently through the ideas they bring. There are 3 other takeaways for office bearers that Uncle shared with me. First, it's important to be simple and humble. Second, that office bearers should strive to foster a perfect team spirit. Third, office bearers should never work for name and fame.
He said that Puttaparthi is a wonderful place to recharge away from the realities of the world, a place to provide food for spirituality and recharge our mind and our body. While we were there, my brother said to Uncle, we remember the beautiful peace and contentment of Swami in our life as we are surrounded by him in Parti. But when we go home, it is very difficult to feel him in the practicalities of our life and distractions that are there. Uncle responded, when you come to Parti, feel the love and the joy that Swami brings and take a snapshot in your mind and in your heart. And then, when you return home, remember that snapshot, just like a beautiful beloved picture. Remember to look at it often and feel the love of Swami. That is how you feel Puttaparthi from abroad. He noted that there were many ways to feel connected to Swami, by singing bhajans, reading books about Swami, and keeping good company. You can keep Swami with you by doing such. He said to us, show me your friends and I will tell you what kind of person you are.
And I was telling him, there's something that hurting me for a long time, Uncle. So he asked me what. So I told him one of the programs, me and my Sai brother, we were singing together, and both of us missed a line that meant so much to all of us. In a nutshell, it means that Swami is father, mother, everything. He said, the Lord of the universe, do you think he will care for one line or one small error you missed? He will never be that. He is the loving father and mother and everything. So that's my takeaway, and I truly believe that Swami is father, mother, and a true friend.
Swami did not confine Professor Anil Kumar Garu to specific organizational roles. Instead, he gave him the freedom to spread Swami's message far and wide, across all sections and into the broader community. This mission was emphasized by Professor Anil Kumar Garu
himself in his recent talks, a series of talks comprising over about 20 plus episodes. He was restless until he could convey all of Swami's messages in their purest form to his devotees without any barriers. Professor Anil Kumar Garu single-handedly was the only individual to quell the confusion when our dear Lord left his physical form.
We are grateful for Uncle and Auntie's love for our family through the decades. He has inspired us all in a very big way. When Swami says love all, we like to think that it's easy for God to love everybody. But Uncle has shown from his lifelong learning under the greatest teacher that it is possible for us humans too to become a reflection of Swami's love.
One of the best things I've learned from him, and honestly a motto I live my life by right now, is seriousness is sickness. I remember all those speeches, all those times he said, people walking around with long faces and, living with their negative energy and feeling bad for themselves. And I think he was always a proponent of you have to sometimes create your own happiness. Don't just settle for despair. And, those are some of the lessons those are like life lessons.
One of his books, I think the title was Sathya Upanishad. And I was thinking, just like we have, 34, 35 volumes of Sathya Sai Speaks, probably call all the books written by Professor Anil Kumar as Sathya Upanishad, and number them from 1 to whatever the current last number is, because and they'll be correct, because all these were messages that Professor Anil Kumar gathered by being in very close proximity to Swami. Upanishad, I think one of the meanings is something that you learn by sitting close to the teacher. And so that is a big treasure that Professor Anil Kumar has left for us.
Recently, when my uncle visited Anil Kumar uncle at his home in Puttaparthi, there were a large number of papers spread out across the room, and uncle was going over them. My uncle asked him, "What are all these notes?" And Anil Kumar uncle told him, "These are Swami's words, incidents and facts that he's revising as preparation for his speech." Anil Kumar uncle said, "This is Swami's story, and we have to be extremely careful in stating things as they are and using the right language, because Swami is very particular and did not like it if we are casual about it."
స్వామికి మన పైన ఎంత ప్రేమ ఉందో అంత ప్రేమ ఆయన పైన మనకున్న కనపరచకపోయినా కొద్దిగానే కలిగి ఉండాలని నా ఉద్దేశం. కొద్దిగానే ఉండాలి. అయ్యో మన స్వామి మన ఇంతవాడు చేశాడు.
Uncle shared and embodied so many leadership lessons, didn't he? And there's so much for us to take away from this segment. But what really struck me beyond it all was his feeling of intense proximity to and feeling loved by Swami. He embodied it, didn't he? When he comforted the devotee that missed singing a single line in the bhajan with the message that Swami, our beloved and loving Father, wouldn't care about such an error, for such was his understanding of the love our Divine Father has for us. It is in this context, Swami himself says, far more beneficial than honoring the great is the practice of loving them. Praise, glorification and eulogy raise them to a pedestal that is almost unreachable. Love, on the other hand, binds one's heart to another. Gratitude for the inspiration and instruction received must bind the hearts in love, he says. Uncle embodied this intense feeling of being bound to Swami in this manner, and we must emulate it by truly loving Uncle. This is very important, isn't it? For it is in this state of love that signals the evolution and growth of every true messenger, like we all are. Remember? From being the conveyor of the message to becoming the Son of God, that is, becoming the torchbearer of the message. This signals the stage of true devotion, true kinsmanship to the Lord and His message in our hearts. Swami says, this evolution can only happen when your heart is pure and sacred, like Uncle's heart was, and when full of love, like he was. As we draw to an end here with this fitting finale, which talks to the divine reunion of this incredible messenger and son of God with his divine parent, we want to thank the Swami in each of our listeners' hearts for bearing witness to this tribute to his beloved Hanuman.
Professor Anil Kumar was a rare soul that made a profound impact on so many lives through love, kindness, and joy. Everyone will miss him. He's not here, yet he is still bringing us together. What better example is there of his influence? If we can make ourselves and others feel just as seen, included, loved, and valued as he made everyone feel, think of how much closer we would be to loving all and serving all. Uncle, you are missed. Thank you for being a friend, a mentor, and a guide. We will always remember the fun memories with you, from sightseeing, many talks, to impromptu bhajans, and are grateful to have spent time with you and your light. Thank you for everything, and please accept our Hangal pranams at the lotus feet. Sai Ram, Om Shanti.
A tribute to Professor Anil Kumar Garu should not be limited to this video, a session, or a meeting. It should live on for the remainder of our lives as we celebrate the legacy of Professor Anil Kumar Garu.
Tata, words don't do justice to what you mean to me and to each of us. You are humanity's champion and the champion of our hearts. I love you, and we love you, always and forever.
He was an Atma Rama who, in his lifetime, realized divinity within himself. Sai.
So I'm sure right now he's getting a little rest from all the good work he's done. But it won't be long before he's on another mission for Swami. And I can see him somewhere, someplace in the universe, rapping his knuckles on the desk, singing bhajans, and telling beautiful people that life is a game plan.
I believe that he lived with God, lived for God, and merged in God finally.
His is a life well lived, and as it is said, when he must have obviously joined Swami back after his passing, Swami would have said, "Well done, my boy."
I must admit that the passing of Professor Anil Kumar brought a mix of sadness and peace. Sadness for the end of an era and the departure of an icon who had such an impact in the Sai play, and clearly for the family, friends, and everyone alike who will miss him every day dearly. Of course, a testament to the immense love that he sowed all over the world. However, the feeling of peace also came for the certainty that the time that he himself, no doubt, had been waiting for now for over 13 years. The divine reunion with his Lord and Master, our beloved Swami, had finally come, and this time for eternity. Therefore, as we offer our final respects, a telling quote from Swami comes to mind, and that is, "Follow the Master, face the devil, fight till the end, and finish the game." So this is to you, Professor Anil Kumar, for a game masterfully well played. Thank you for all the smiles, inspiration, and insights. We bid you adieu in its truest sense of the word. May you bask in the divine bliss for eternity.